Tales from the Casino Pit, a podcast where we share stories with people from the casino industry. Now, here's your cast: John, Mike, Danielle, Michelle, Pippa, and Jay.
Well, hello! Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live episode, Tales from the Casino Pit. This is our podcast, and I think this is our 17th episode.
You would know better
18,
than me.
17,
17,
18?
18. This is our second one live, and we're at the Pearl Showroom at Casino Yellowhead here in Edmonton. So if you are around, come say hi. And we're streaming over 3 platforms. We're streaming over Facebook. So hello everyone on Facebook, the Casino Industry Canada group. Hello everybody there. And of course, the Casino Dealer J YouTube channel. Thank you. Hello, welcome to the new subscribers. You guys are awesome.
You are beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for finishing that. This is really cool because I've got 2 laptops here and we have the one mic. Hopefully the sound is good. If you guys hear anything, just let us know. And we are joined by the wonderful
Danny. Hey, everybody. Sad I'm not at the showroom with everyone, but it's a long drive for an hour podcast.
Where's your commitment? Jeez.
Didn't you ask earlier for a limo, though? I mean, if there was a limo, you'd be like, hey, where's my
I
limo?
did say, where's the limo? I did say that.
So you're like, well, I'd come for a limo, but that otherwise I just want the link.
Not worth my time otherwise.
just a quick comment here from Howard. Howard says, hi everyone from Moose's in, how do I say that?
I can't even see.
Kalispell?
Oh, Kalispell.
Kalispell. No.
Hi, Howard.
Hi, Howard.
Hey, how's it going?
Howard, we will see you in a future episode. Oh, spoiler alert. So Howard's going to be on one of our
Exciting.
episodes coming up soon. Thanks for agreeing to that. I was waiting for the 100th episode. You know, like, what is that? What is that movie where Hunger Games, where it's like the quarter quell, where they have like someone special? Yeah. Okay, it has nothing to do with that movie. But whatever.
You're like, the 100th, we're like on 17. You're like, I was waiting for the 100th. It's like, that's 83 weeks. I was like, when is that?
Oh my god. We have a comment from Daryl. Daryl says, thanks for letting me into plenty of fish. Oh crap, wrong.
Well played, Gerald. That was good.
Is that even a thing still? Oh my god.
That's funny.
Yeah, all right. Anyways. Go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to ask, Daryl, are you coming to come on the 17th, 18th? When is it 18th?
17th.
17.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be weird if I just turned up the day after.
Would that be new, though? I
was
feel like
like,
that's
yeah.
probably happened before.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, where's everybody? Why am I here on my own?
Actually, Daryl was the very first person to buy a ticket, so he is
awesome.
He's coming for sure. And the event is actually, oh, look, I have one of these. Ta-da! The Casino Industry Canada Get Together 2022, Saturday, September 17th. So we're going to have a really cool dinner. We just talked to the food and beverage manager here. He was really cool. So thanks, Joseph. Thanks for turning the lights on here and letting us know what's going to be happening. I wasn't quite sure what the menu was going to be, but it's going to be a surprise. Well, she won't. I don't know if we should say what it is.
Yeah, say what it is.
We're getting a prime rib.
Yay!
It's not even their prime rib day, so I think it's really cool for for the tickets. And then of course we had Tony here giving everybody a free drink, so you get a free drink with your dinner ticket, and you get a $25 match play. So hopefully that will kind of offset a lot of the things. And on top of that, we have a lot of vendors that gave us some donations, so we have quite a few $100 to give away for prizes.
I have a door prize, too.
Is it? It's not your cat, is it? That would be really strange. Kind of cool too.
No, it's not.
Daryl says, got my ticket already. Unless I get hired tomorrow at Yellowhead.
You can still come.
Yeah, you can still come. Hiring for right where I'm sitting. Yeah, I guess this place is hiring. That's a nice place.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will tell you, like, this is one of my favorite places to work because I have gone through so many memories here. This place used to be like the casino, the number one casino when it first opened. It was around what, 2000, if you remember?
I started working here in 2005, and it was before that. Yeah, 2000. Is it
Yeah.
that early?
Yeah, I think so because like when Craps first came out, they came out as well.
Not 2005. I started working here in 2002.
2002,
So 2000
yeah.
makes more sense.
Yeah, no, because you were with us.
Yeah, but until
Before.
2002, yeah.
I came here when it was under construction in '98 for a table test.
Oh,
It was like
okay.
over here somewhere. It was like the building was like under construction and they were kind of training people.
I loved working here. It's a very. I mean, there's a lot of great things about this casino, but one thing it's kind of always had is a really good poker game, crew, room, tournaments, whatever. And so I love that about working here. It's great for that.
I think as well, it's a great location, like right on the Yellowhead, because
Yeah.
it's easy to get to.
Mhm.
There's tons of parking. I'm going to mess around. Well, I had to walk all the way over there. And it was like, there's a shuttle bus. I was like, I'm not that lazy. I shouldn't. To be honest, I'm like, I did think, well, how can I order the shuttle bus to just pick me up from there?
Yeah.
Literally, it was
It's
like,
like an equivalent of like a block, maybe 2 blocks.
yeah,
to
it's
where
like a
your
minute walk.
Yeah.
But I was like curious. I'm like, how do I do it? Do I like, is it like an Uber?
Yeah.
Yellowhead Uber? But no, this is a cool casino.
Yeah, this is actually the first place that I ever played poker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like live, yeah.
Oh, live. Yeah, they had an amazing poker game when this place first opened, and of course, like Pure is, they have the market for poker, like even in Calgary, right? So
Yeah.
I think they're doing really, really well. But I remember when this place first opened, they had 2 craps tables, and
Wow.
one was $5, one was $10, and I'm like, high limit craps table, that's crazy. And 3, Danny, you would have loved it here because there's 3 Paigao tables, double sided too.
Yeah.
Like, it was,
that's right.
Right.
yeah, it was.
I like
such a
that.
nice
The
place.
only downside, I dealt Paigao. I didn't deal a lot of Paigao here because I was mostly craps and poker, but I did miss the Palace where it was like you could sit down.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say.
Like, yes, the double sided is nice
Yeah.
for like ease and like you're involved with the game or whatever. But I did miss the
But you
sitting
were like,
down part.
do I really want to be in the
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, at the Palace, I was involved in the game for 20 minutes every hour.
Yes.
Here, it was like 20 minutes like that, 20 minutes I was like watching TV and then on break for training.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl says 4-8 half was the best. I
Oh yeah.
remember 4-8 half.
I love a half game. Go to both.
Yeah, my Omaha wasn't very good back then. I misread quads one time. I don't know if we'll talk about that story, but yeah. Sorry, I have so many echoes here, but let me
Lot.
just. I just wanted to show the actual place here.
Just to prove they're actually here and it's not just kind of like a background in Jaylee's basement.
Green screen.
Well, like that, we really are here. It's not, some.
Yeah, so this is where we're going to have our event, and you can see that, there's John and Michelle, but it's a beautiful showroom. They've got really nice seating here. Check out this bar. It's an amazing bar. And then, of course, the stage area where we have Mr. DJ SVO. He's going to be playing some music. I want to have some tables up here, so hopefully we can take some photos in front of a lot of if we have I don't want to say a craps table, but if we had like a roulette table, we can take some photos. This LED board's going to be on, so we're going to have a nice backdrop for our photos. We have a really nice photographer coming. Let's take it backstage. Oh, this is where all the famous artists play. This is where they stay. This is like their
And this is where
background
the
rooms.
Yeah.
Ooh, fancy is this? There's a vacuum there, but yeah, see, you never get to see stuff like this. Come to the casino, they're like, nope, stay
It
out
really
the
Behind
night.
the scenes.
Exactly. It's a scoop.
Okay, let me run back.
There's your tour of the venue for the event on the 17th.
So fancy.
I'm actually really looking forward to it. Hopefully, we get more and more people coming. So
I mean, every time I hear a name of someone that's coming, I'm like, yes. It's
this
gonna
is
be really
getting
cool.
better.
Yeah.
It's weird. My son is coming, my oldest son, and it'll be the first time he's ever been in a casino. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. The first time he's come to a casino is this event. So
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
Hopefully, it doesn't turn into kind of a degenerate gamble. And years later in therapy, be like, oh my God, it all started, doctor, when my dad took me to this casino event.
It's like trying to scam everyone's free play. It's
Exactly.
like, you don't
yeah.
need it. Just give it to me.
Exactly. What are you doing with that? Oh, it's going to go to a good cause.
Danny, have you ever been to Casino Yellowhead?
No, I do not think so. I don't think I've been to. I think I've been to Edmonton once since I've been of legal age, and it was just for a dinner. I think I was.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I've only went for like a dinner, so I was there for like an hour, and then I drove all the way back. So like a 6-hour ride for an hour of dinner.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
That must have been a nice
I
dinner.
was gonna say.
I'm assuming dinner wasn't KFC.
It was actually. I'm just joking.
You just really love that gravy.
Okay, so speaking of dinner, what's the best plate that you have there for work? Like when you go to work? Because here, when I was working here, it was the fried rice. Definitely the fried rice. That was my favorite.
I like the blackened chicken sandwich. It's really good. And then I also don't mind the braised brisket on rice.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Always get extra veggies though.
Really? Yeah, we were spoiled back then just because we had the mall. So we could
Yeah,
always just get whatever we wanted downstairs and run to a food court.
yeah. There
That
was
would be
a lot of
nice.
options there.
Mm-hmm.
The parking was shit, but there was lots of options for food.
Do you remember when in the Palace in the summer we used to come outside and it was that nightclub outside and we'd sit outside, I used to sit outside and there'd be the bench and we'd just wait to see all the fights in that club across, what was it called? I can't remember what it was
Rum
called.
Rum
Jungle?
Rum Jungle, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It had other names too, but
Yeah,
that
but
was,
it was-
the
that was-
longest
yeah.
when we were there. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, Rum Jungle.
And you just wait. And wasn't it like, was there a point where, like, we'd get on the weekends people coming over from there? I feel like security used to just stand at the front door and be like, no.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, they kept you over there. You ain't coming in here.
Yeah.
I was leaving. I was a dealer. I was leaving work and I was trying to get to my car and two guys were like fighting over it. So they were like choking each other and I'm like, guys, can you just? I need to get in my car. I'm just trying to like get in.
Yeah, but you get in, you kind of like reversing back and it's still all over your front of your car.
It was like my car was like a white, like a really bright white. It was a BMW. It was a 1980, like an old BMW. So it's like, man, when like the blood was getting on the car, I'm like,
Oh,
no.
Wipers are on.
Oh, it was so bad. Oh, jeez. Yeah, there's so many things that happened with that club. I remember them closing the doors because this one guy was getting beat up and he was trying to get into the casino and the casino guys were like, no, stay out. And they left him out there to get his ass kicked, which is it's like, what are you supposed to do? You can't let this guy in. People were like chasing him and I don't know. There's so many things that happen with that.
Yeah,
That
that
nightclub
club being
that-
next door. Well, pretty
Man.
much next door anyway.
There used to be a player that came in, I can't remember his name, when he used to play craps, and he came in and he had this old, like, he said himself, he goes, oh, this car's a piece of junk. He goes, I don't even lock the doors. And he goes, people used to steal it. He goes, nah, I don't care. And then they just leave it in the mall. He goes, he wouldn't lock the doors because I don't want him to pay for the window to get replaced. So he wouldn't lock the doors.
Just unlock it so that
He
they
just
can
unlock it,
get
they
in,
steal,
yeah.
they drive around, whatever, the mall, and he'd find it again some other time. But
Oh my goodness.
he just didn't want him to break the window.
Oh dear. Oh,
That's really funny.
well, yeah, this is so everybody that's watching, not a lot of people on right now, of course, just sitting around hanging out. We don't really have a program today. We did have somebody that was supposed to come in, but that person kind of canceled. I'm just happy to see Danny on. It's really cool to see you again. I'm glad that you're here. Can't wait to see you soon.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Less
Like,
than-
we've all been doing this podcast for this is like the second season or something, and like we've never met in person.
yeah.
So
That would
Danny-
be really cool.
Very
And
interesting.
I'm going to be really shocked if you're like 6'3". It's really weird. 'Cause if you're all sitting next to us and you're like,
You know
Dan,
what?
get there.
I should actually bring heels because then I'm over 6 feet.
You're probably the tallest of all of us then.
If
I don't know,
wear
Mike-
heels, yeah.
I don't know. Mike
Oh,
in heels
Mike's-
is probably over 6 foot as well.
Yeah, Mike's taller. I forget about Mike because he's not always here.
Oh no, this will be fun. Hopefully if Tony is able to get us some tables, we can bring out some Pygao tiles and we can have some fun. We'll be here a little bit earlier. I'm hoping we can maybe do like a quick live stream. I'd love to get if we can get some people from the party to come in and we can just do some nice clips with them. I think that'll be a lot
That'll
of
be fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate we can't get too many people. There are a lot of people that I wanted to see that aren't able to make it that weekend, which kind of sucks, but I'm still kind of happy with there's some people I really like. I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah,
If we bring out a table, it might be it will be the first time I've been on any kind of casino table in 17 years.
I was thinking, oh, maybe John, you should just go on Crafts and ask them to be on
Yeah.
stick for a few stick.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure that's fine.
I could probably do stick. That's it.
Yeah. What did you say? 17 years?
Yeah,
My
17
last time
years.
was 06. What's that?
16,
16 years. Yeah.
Wow.
I was out here 05 full time, but I did a brief part time stint at River Creek when Alex went to work there when it opened, and I don't know, maybe 6 months part time. I was not just part time, but
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It should be fun.
yeah, definitely.
I said I'm happy that we can get the whole cast together. And hopefully, we can do a nice live and take some nice photos. And I'm really excited just to, I don't know, I'm excited to see everybody. This is something that we talked about
Yeah.
so long ago. Just linking the generations together. I don't know, that kind of makes me really happy. It's part of the reason why we did this podcast. It's part of the reason why I do the channel. It's just I love the fact that we can kind of connect in that way. We have something in common, and it's really cool to just kind of
Yeah.
share that. So,
It also really shows there'll be a wide, I'm sure, range of people, but I know there'll be a lot of people kind of from whatever we call it, our era or whatever, and it should just show how much connection we made, in that time, that the people, we also genuinely wanted to see each other,
Yeah.
and see each other's faces and hang out, which is really cool.
Daryl. Oh, sorry, Danny. Daryl's throwing some shade at you. He's saying Oilers jerseys must be worn.
Yeah. Price of
I like
admission.
Is there a dress code?
Yes.
Aware of?
You were supposed
Anyone
to
want
tour
my
until
ticket?
you got here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. We have all of matching outfits, and Danny comes in.
Well, I'll bring a Flames jersey just in case.
Wow. You
I'm
do
just-
that.
Yeah, see how that goes for you.
I get
Oh.
kicked out of the party. They're like, okay, thanks for coming. Bye.
Yeah.
Enjoy your trip back.
She'll be standing outside.
Exactly. I know the guy running it. It doesn't matter.
We're gonna do our podcast. You're gonna be in the parking lot, just on your phone.
Someone else will try to fight me over top of your car.
Let's not talk about cars. And
I
stuff.
won't do that.
I've had the worst August of my life. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I'll do a vlog for the channel, and it's been so crazy.
You have had a lot of stuff piling.
Yeah, but you know what? That August is done. September is. I've had a good start to the September. Hopefully, this party works out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm just glad to get that summer behind me because this
Me
is not-
too. This has been a horrible summer as well.
Yeah, you haven't had a good summer either. Yeah, so
I know. Yeah.
there's
So
some
I'm,
redemption there. I think
yeah.
we need a really good kickback month here, and I'm really excited. I really want to get some of our live streams going again. It's fun to just kind of get some play on the table, and
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited because there's some people that are like, hopefully there's a lot of craps people there. I'm like, you're gonna get to meet my mentor here when it comes to like,
He means Michelle.
yeah.
No.
No, this is gonna be fun. I mean, I'm excited to just even if we're able to just have I don't know half of a table and we can just talk on it and just I'm just so excited about seeing that. There's some people that are like, yeah, like, I really want to talk to somebody about crafts. I'm like, I got the person for you. I definitely do. So yeah,
It's going to be fun.
Sometimes I forget that kind of, well, it's not quite a circle, but like you taught him, he taught me.
Mhm.
I didn't teach you anything, but
Well, he told me a lot about poker. I was like, what? I don't get it.
No, it's cool. I love it. I like, and it's, I think the thing that we have in common is it's just loving the game, right? Loving
Yeah.
dealing.
Yeah.
Same with Danny. It's like Danny. I always call Danny the unicorn just because of the fact that she has all this. It's a passion. I know that you have the passion for dealing with games. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a multi-game dealer.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
come here and there's like maybe 3 or 4 people. Well, they've actually hired some really good dealers from another casino. I can't really say too much about it, but they're amazing. Like they're really good dealers. So it's nice to have like some talent come back. But this place, like before, it was one of like 3 all games dealers, right?
Mhm.
Like whatever happened to that era where it's like I really want to learn craps. I want to learn roulette. I want to learn tiles. Like even baccarat. People used to love baccarat because you'd sit down for the whole shift, right? You don't have to stand. You're not
Yeah.
gonna hurt your back, and it's just like, well, you're the one that picked it wrong. So why are you trying to blame me, right?
It's funny how you're like, oh, I love baccarat. Why? A chair.
A chair. Yeah, I get a chair.
It's like, why'd you love it? I could sit down. Saying that, I remember when they first brought craps into the palace, and I think I'd been there a week, and then like, okay, John, you're the boxman. I was like, okay, and I sat, we had the chair obviously, and you'd see people walking past, and like the pit bosses walking past, and then going up the stairs to the staff room. And they didn't know me, obviously, because I'd
Yeah.
only been there like a week, and they'd be giving me like the stink eye, like,
You get to sit with the
What is
jacket
this?
on? What a bunch of
what is he
bullshit.
sitting there? Why is he sitting down? He's not a pit boss. What could he say? And I was like, oh my God, it felt really weird and awkward. I was like, okay. And like you've seen that we sit down all the time, but yeah.
Yeah. That's so
And I think what
funny.
made it worse is I wasn't allowed to really go and watch other things.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't watch a $3 blackjack table.
Yeah.
But it was just a kind of a quirk at the time.
Did you ever end up like able to be a pit
Oh
boss?
yeah, they did.
But
In the end, they were
eventually,
like, "Okay,
this
John,
is stupid.
this
Just
is yeah."
go
you know
check
what I mean?
25, please.
Exactly. It was one of those things, when you look at the business room, you're like, this makes zero sense.
Yeah,
He watches
right?
all this action, doing all this thing. Well, and he can't. Then they go, forget it, John. Just
Not
go
to
do it.
mention the experience you had.
Yeah,
It's not like you never dealt those games.
No.
You dealt them
by
all.
the time I came to the palace, I think I'd been dealing for about 15 years.
Right.
So and I dealt all over the place in London and Highland, all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So
Yeah.
it wasn't. I dealt with some sketchy places too.
Yes.
But but. Well, I told you that story that I only dealt blackjack for 15 minutes in
Right.
5 years I was there.
Yeah.
And nobody told me the rules. Like that $7s, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. I still
And
don't know those.
I thought he was tipping me. They put it in, and I was like, oh my God. I was there like, Rod. I was like, these guys are awesome. And I ring the bell, I put it in there, and it was like, all these people
They're
looking at
like,
me like,
your dealer is stealing money from
you're
us.
like, what? Luckily, they never won. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, and they were like, why is he so jolly when I lose? This guy's a jerk.
So they're betting it, losing, and you're like, thank you.
You guys rock.
It's like
And I
double
was-
dipping.
Yeah, but one of the things probably as well, they probably didn't understand me either. So
Yeah.
sometimes it pays to have an accent.
Sure.
Oh,
Oh man, that's so funny.
I don't know this comment. Daryl says, "Don't do that. I hate wasting beer." I don't remember
Don't
what
do
that was
what?
from. I don't know. That's probably from like.
Is he on? Did he skip onto Christian Mingle again or something? what are you talking about, Daryl?
Daryl says we could fill up a Pagao table and just take 25 men for each hand. Yeah.
Oh, you're on about the match play.
Oh,
No, yeah.
yeah. That's right. You get a match play. This is gonna be fun. Hopefully we got. Well, there are some dealers because like some really good dealers that are gonna be on that night because they can't come to the party. So, yeah, I think that craps table is gonna be a lot of fun. I have a lot of craps player friends that want to come and they're gonna be playing. So, I think that table is gonna be good. I think Pagao Tiles that table is gonna be good. I don't know about the rest of the tables. There's going to be a lot of blackjack players for sure. All the people from the hospital are going to come. So,
Oh,
yeah.
fun.
Daryl says sit and chat. Don't sit and chat.
What?
Oh my god. I can't follow this.
We're out of sync tonight, Gerald.
I keep standing there. I keep forgetting the camera's up there.
Sorry, Mike. Hello, Mike Stark. Who's that guy? I've never heard of
Mike
him.
Stark.
I don't know who that is.
I've met him before.
Have we met him?
Yeah, Mike-ish. He comes on.
Apparently, yeah.
Alleged rumor has it.
Yeah.
Alleged.
I just
Mm,
remember him being one of the kids in the back seat on our way to Vegas.
is it this guy?
This guy, yes,
that
that
That guy,
guy,
yeah,
right.
that guy.
That-
Oh,
yeah.
this guy.
That
This
picture helps,
guy.
that
This
picture
guy right
helps.
here.
He's over 6 feet with his heels on. That guy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wow. I love going through these pictures. Oh, what's this? Oh my
Oh.
god. How amazing is that photo? Unbelievable.
I think that's
Let me just show that again. Oh wow.
exactly.
Art. Art.
That's the best picture I've ever seen of Danny.
Art and beauty. Unbelievable. I did show this photo from before. John, I don't know if you're on that episode, but I bought these chips at a thrift store.
Oh, okay. I remember
I
those.
can't
Yeah.
believe you ran into those at the thrift store.
I know.
That's so
right?
amazing.
Who donated these?
Well, whatever.
Someone
About
who
50
had them
cents
in
for
their
them.
house. Yeah. But you can see, like, Danny, if you look at the size here, you can see
I
like,
know.
that's crazy, hey? Imagine trying to like feel 20 and then you get to like the newer chips coming in, and this is like
Yeah.
the difference between them.
Yeah.
I really like dealing with clay chips, though.
Oh, me too. Love
First,
clay
like,
chips.
it's so great. And then we got like brand new ones for
Wow.
like the poker room, and I was like, "Okay, can we just like dump them all out and mix them all together so that way they like some of them aren't all just like really really tight in the racks." So I was so happy after they started to get like mixed in, because that way they were like a happy medium.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
I'm not a fan at all of like the metal
That middle
insert. I mean, I got used to them, but it's not my favorite.
I used to work in places where the dealers would just try and break them. They like pop out the insert.
Mm.
Like, we hate these shit.
They're so slippery,
Yeah.
right? It's like
They're
'cause
heavier and
heavy,
they're
and
slippy.
because they're slippy.
Slippy.
Slippy? Slippery?
The heaviness, they just like I don't know, they just fall all the time.
But when you think about it, those clay chips were nice because they were all covered in like gunk.
Yes, yes.
Stick together, they're all kind of gross.
Yes, yes. The grossness was helpful. And
Um,
gross.
Oh god. Yeah. Let's not talk about hand clay. Oh my god. Hi,
Ew.
Dice Grinders. Evening peeps.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
evening.
Hopefully you're having some good sessions. I'll tell you that. I have not. Let's not talk about my August, right? Daryl says, I hate this late chat window. Yeah. Daryl, you got to get off your 56K modem and you have to start get off your Pentium 75 computer. Just get a new computer there. You don't need that big CRT monitor anymore. You know, we have these little thin things. They're called laptops that you can use.
Bless him.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Mike says, I filled in a bit since then. No comment on that photo. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, I just told you my August is just crap. I'm just happy to have you two here. I'm happy to just talk live. I'm happy to have Danny back. I can't wait to see you on the weekend. This has been, it's kind of like a nice healing month for me, apart from a car accident. I lost a friend. There's just a lot of stuff that happened. Truly sucked. And, it's nice to kind of just try to get back to like,
Start trending up.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
I just want to say like back to par,
Yeah.
So it's cool to just have an episode here. And I really, we don't have to talk about camera rolls. We don't have to talk about any kind of news or things like that. There's a lot of bad stuff happening right now, right? So it's just cool to kind of just chill, share stories, and just take it easy, right?
Cheers to a new month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Danny, where are you?
Kids back to school.
That's a good thing. That's absolutely a good thing. So there you go. See, where's Danny's beer?
Oh,
I'm taking a nice break from.
Okay. Yeah, no. Build it up for yeah. Just save it for the weekend here.
Yeah.
Mike says, could you imagine the sounds on dice if we had inserts and Arden was?
We used to have a Steeler when I trained. There was 4 of us, and it was this girl. She was a bodybuilder, and she was really big, like tall and just ripped. She
Thick,
was,
muscular.
yeah, she was terrifying. And we used to call. She got a nickname Thumper because when she dealt, because her hands were really good, and it was like. Boom, 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 boom. And we're all too scared to say anything to her. We're like, "Nice job, Karen." Oh my god! Like she was a nice person, but oh my god, yeah. Thumper. She was just so loud. You could hear it in the dark. Like, oh my god, is Karen stealing?
You know what I never understand, talking about like females and hands? Nails. Like, have you ever dealt with, I mean, I can't think of an example specific to craps, but like, just amazed me to see, like, it wasn't uncommon for female dealers to have like long, whatever, fake nails, right? I never understood. I never understood that. Like, how do you deal like that?
I was going to an event once, and so I got on those like acrylic nails, and then I went to deal roulette. Like, I could not spin the ball. Like, I think every like 3 spins, I was like, misspin, and then the next day I was like, I take these off. Like, I can't do it.
Like, I'm pretty tomboy. Like, I've been a tomboy most of my life. I don't even think I've ever had fake nails, but like that always, I mean, I work in an office. I don't even like typing with long nails, like long real nails.
Yeah.
I have to like cut my nails. So like dealing, I just never understood.
And it's not to say that because like my wife's like she has nails, whatever, she types, but when she gets them like cut off, it's like she can't type properly. It's really weird. It's like,
it's like the opposite for her. It's like, how do people do this with short nails?
Like, what? Who are those savages? I used to work with this girl, right, and she was super small, but she was a very good dealer, but her hands were really small too, and she couldn't hold a stack of chips. But she kind of like held it weirdly
and
awkwardly.
She did kind of sideways.
Yeah,
right?
it was the weirdest thing. I was like, what is she doing it? And
I've seen that. They can't quite get it, so they kind of take it sideways.
Yeah, and then she dropped like roll at 5, and then she could kind of adjust, and then it was just like,
it's kind of, instead of using palm, they kind of use this part to hold it.
Yeah,
like
it was really strange.
Yeah.
But the place I worked in, where I trained in for blackjacks, it was so weird. Instead of like, obviously we back then they paid like 3 to 2. I'm not sure if it's changed here, but anyway, they would cut her in half and cut it 3 times. So there's no thought at all. So so whatever, and they do color to color all the time. And my guess was the surveillance weren't that bright. So it's like, we can see that 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That looks about right. And then they just go 1, 2, 3, and then like they break it down. Okay, they pay $1.50 or £1.50, whatever for that one.
Yeah,
it was the weirdest thing.
Oh my god!
Like,
You're saying, Danny?
I never understood how you can finger cut, like with long nails. Like, it just. Like, if you can't feel it on your fingertip, it's such a weird feeling. I've seen I've seen some people who got on fake nails and then they started thumb cutting, and I was like,
You're hurting my brain.
Were they doing that on a 9-in board? I saw that a lot on Facebook, on YouTube. I'll show you how to deal. That's a 9-in board. I've never dealt on a 9-in board ever. It would be fun.
I don't think I've ever owned an ironing board.
No?
My dryer is
an ironing board.
You don't have an ironing board?
No, or a microwave.
I don't buy clothes that require an ironing board. Like, I have blouses, don't get me wrong. Like, I have jackets and stuff that I don't have to wear them as much in my job, but when we go on seminars, I do. But I just buy non-wrinkled shirts, and I just can't be bothered.
Because I'm like,
it doesn't matter. It's okay.
I've always been able, because I've worked, like an iron a shirt, like a dress shirt, for work, or pretty much anything.
Yeah.
A bed.
I mean, I used to iron the tuxedo shirts, but I lived at home at the time. Yeah. So my parents had an ironing board. So I've lived in a home with an ironing board, but not in my own home with an iron.
Oh, okay. But do you ever do the thing? I used to do it all the time. You know, like, okay, I'm just going to wear the jacket, and then like, no, I'll just iron the front.
Yes,
The
right.
part where you see it, you know,
Right.
like this bit.
Why would you do the rest of it?
And you go like that, and then sometimes you're like, oh god, and you're like, I can't take my jacket off. You're like,
Yeah.
why? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, put your jacket back
But
on.
then you forget and you take it up. You're like, oh, you're right. I can't do that.
It completely, and I would take it. I swear to God, I would be like, I'd roll it up in a ball and I'd put it in my pocket. I'm not gonna work now. I'm like, what? That's not iron. It's like it doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. I like this confession. This is confession Wednesday, I guess. I iron like everything. I iron t-shirts.
So we're opposite, is
Well,
what you're
yeah,
saying.
I don't want to say I iron socks. I iron socks to like keep them warm. I don't
Jay,
know.
oh my
It's kind of
goodness.
weird. I know,
Like-
I know, but I don't know. It's like, okay, remember I was a manager at some point, right? So then
Yes.
it's like I have my dress shirts,
Yes.
and I'm really ridiculous because I only had like 5 suits, but then like the inside shirt I would have to rotate.
Yeah.
So then like you wash.
Did you have a
them all.
schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a color schedule for sure. But the thing is, it's like you iron one shirt, it's like, oh, I might as well keep going, right? So then it would take like a whole
then you end
day
up on
for
the
me to
socks.
iron everything. Yeah, I even bought one of those like mini boards where you like iron the sleeve and stuff. So it's kind of bad. And then I have felts, so like because I was doing training at some point, so then I ironed the felts too, which is just, I'm sorry, it's just,
That's getting strange. Saying that, like my mum, like when I grew up, like my mum would do the same thing. She'd iron everything and then you fold it up and she put it away. And then you take it out and you go, oh, it's all creased because they put it. And I'm like, oh, now I've got to iron it again. We're like, what was the point of this? I did it in the first place. It's like I'm doing it twice now. And I swear to God, she's wearing my boxer shorts as well. I'm like, please stop,
my
don't do that. I don't need creases in my boxer shorts. Because if everyone, if girls ever saw it, they'd be like, why do you have those? I'm like, it's a long story.
oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
All right, sorry. Let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
here.
Nothing to do with casinos.
Yeah, casino talking about ironing boards. That's great. Dice Grinders asks, as dealers on craps, do you prefer to get tipped? Just curious, because I like doing player control. Danny, why don't you answer this one first?
What? I'm trying to read.
Yeah,
So-
how do you prefer to get
so-
tipped?
So what's the question?
How do you like to get tipped? So I guess my question would be like, do you like to get tipped like two-way, piggyback
I like piggyback.
at the end? Yeah?
Yeah, I like piggyback. That way it doesn't come just straight off. So like especially if it's, I mean, you could do pretty much anything you wanted, like I just appreciate the effort in general. I mean, but like my favorite's probably piggyback or just like throw it to me and tell me to put it wherever I want it. So yeah.
I mean, it's fun to play with the player because then you're like in it together.
On the same team.
There you go.
Okay, am I talking as a dealer? Oh,
Yeah.
no. Okay, sorry. Some porn spam.
Yes, that's a deal.
Where is it? I don't see it.
That's Daryl again.
No one else knows what we're talking about. Well, dice dealers. But
Okay, well, as I overtip. That's a problem. And I'm not bragging or anything, but I overtip where I just don't make any money when I play, which kind of sucks. The thing is, I like betting like a hard way if it comes in parlay 2-way. So I'm never going to make any money off of any hard ways, but I parlay
But as a
2-way.
dealer,
As a dealer, you know what? It depends on if you know your player. Like if it's somebody that's going to bet 1 and 2 behind, it's $3. I don't
Yes.
care. I'll take it as long as it's somebody that we know and that guy's really nice. As long as you're not being a dick, I think that's fine. You can
Yeah.
tip. You can tip $1, like you can 2-way a hard 10 or something.
yeah.
I'd be so happy with that.
Mhm.
But I'm more easygoing than a lot of the people that my team is, right?
Yeah.
Personally, I was like, when the, I think it's you like the deal. I mean, I gamble too. It was always meant, okay, when I win, the dealer wins, right? Or when the player wins, and I win, right? So,
Right.
because I mean, sometimes like if they throw you like, and what if the guy throws you a tip and you don't like him? And he's
Yeah,
like,
then he
okay,
don't.
all right, yeah, okay. In the middle of it, okay, I'm going to bet any 7. There you go. Yeah, look at my I'll bet any craps. What, I lose? That's okay. I don't like you. So I think you have to be like in the same, like you win and they
You
win.
want to continue getting tips.
exactly.
Is the idea.
Exactly. It would be fun. That's the thing. I think it has to be kind of like, yeah, when I win, you win, and you win. So you're both playing the same game.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, I would probably do it as, it would be kind of funny with the right player. I'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, he comes in like, let's bet against him.
Yes. But it is like, Jay said, like, even with the $3, I agree, it's fun to win with a player. But there's something about like a hard way or a whatever,
Yeah.
like two-way,
Yeah.
right, where you're winning maybe a more significant amount and together, right? That's obviously very fun.
Mhm.
But I think as well, it's how the player plays too. Like
Yeah.
if they're betting hard ways and they go two-way.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know how the center action bets are all kind of a rip-off, but it's like, it's just some fun.
It's
right?
fun.
it's
I mean,
fun,
we're
right?
not it's on our money.
Exactly
I mean,
right.
it is, but
Yeah.
it isn't, right?
But that's what I mean. Like, I think I prefer it when, because you're involved and you get excited when the player wins because you win something. I mean, like, I didn't really care, to be honest, how much it was, because if he's betting $5 and he's betting $1 for you, it's, or if it's different. If he's betting like $1,000 on $1, you're like, well, my enthusia's gone down a little bit. Exactly. Yeah.
But
Like,
I
what-
would play way different with tip money than my own money. Like, I don't play the center as much when I'm playing with my own money, but tip money.
Yeah. I'll say this, like, as a player, I'd probably say, just be humble about it too, right? Because you don't want the guy, I was like, I'll take a tip. It's cool. It's like, yeah, two-way hard eight. It's like, hey guys, I'm betting a two-way hard eight for you. It's like, you don't want to be that guy either, where it's just like, hey, come on, everybody else, right? I'm giving him $2. How come you don't give him $2? It's like $2. This is the first time you're giving me $2 after like 2 hours of play. Now you're hustling these guys to like bet for you. Okay, whatever. Like, you don't want to be like that player either. I'll tell you this, like, we talk about how do you prefer. I think one of the options is like getting tipped at the end. A lot of dealers just don't understand that because they don't, if you're like making all this money right off the bat, they're like, this guy's not going to tip anything. So a lot of dealers, I know the mentality is that you're expecting to like get something on the fly. So for me, I like just staying aware and just giving somebody like during the game itself.
Well, the
During
thing
the
about
game,
getting
definitely.
tipped at the end is that most players lose.
Yeah.
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 Even if they're winning at some point, they usually lose. So
Yeah.
then that doesn't usually work out
I've
very
always
well.
thought that, like the ongoing tipping really is more of like a safety valve. So like, because when you play craps and everyone's drinking, you get loud, it's the way that player, like me as a dealer, will go, okay, I know how Jay plays. He's never going to forget his bets because he's just throwing a buck up or whatever it is. So I'm involved. I say, Jay, you got to know what he was going to back everything up. You're going to, however you play, your world's going to remind you, right? But sometimes but if Jay's the type of player, he's okay, if he wins, he tips me at the end. But you know that because if he's a regular player.
Sure.
If he's like some guy walks in and he always says, oh, I tip at the end, you're like,
Yeah,
oh, I'll show you.
sure you do.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. So, yeah.
Sure. I mean, you
No
develop.
one's ever said that before.
Yeah, right.
That's
yeah.
you're right, John. That's a different breed. And it's like we know as dealers, it's like this guy's gonna tip at the end.
Yeah.
But then this guy can get harassed by another player. It's like, how come you guys are giving the dealers anything, right? Like
Yeah.
you can see that too, right?
Yeah.
So
the judgment.
And you see the guy, because we've all seen it, where the guy will like all of a sudden he's there and he like the big bag of chips, he like poof, look back and he's like he's gone.
It's
He
like
didn't
he
come in
creates-
because he's too shaky.
It's
You're
like
like,
had
what?
someone create a diversion over here. Like,
He's
what's going on? You turn around, he's gone.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's like, what? Okay, I'll go right now.
Sorry, emergency, gotta go.
Yeah, little Timmy's down the well. And you're like, the phone didn't even ring. How did you know that?
Oh man.
this is Joe. Joe's Mr. Conservative. Hi, Joe. Who's
Lock
been
it
on the
up.
channel. Yeah, lock it up. But it's your age showing. Yeah. When you get older, I guess you become one of those jaded dealers. It's like, no more risking it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been on the. I'm definitely more conservative financially now than when I was in my 20s at the casino. But I don't know if I was actually on the table if that would translate.
But here's a thought though. Do you think dealers would make, well, obviously we weren't at the time. You'd make more money if you just locked
the
up.
money every
if you
time.
took the money every time,
Yeah.
like Joe said, to lock it up. Because you would, because obviously it's
Because there's a
money-
house edge.
It's the house edge,
And
and
we're there every day.
But
So
I
they-
think the
Let's
entertainment,
get
yeah,
us.
we all know, like, oh, everybody loses in the end. But I
Yeah.
think that half the fun of the game is playing the game with the dealer.
Well,
right? You're
I'll
like,
also
oh,
add the element that is not kind of calculated in that is, do people tip more when you play with them because it's more fun?
yeah,
Right? So
I
we
think
make it tipped more, like we would retain more percentage by just taking the money, but would people tip less money? So we
Because-
would end up with less money. You know what I don't know if I'm explaining
yeah,
that
I know
very
what you
well.
mean. Like,
But
because you're not playing with them, they would be like, okay, I'll
but
tip
it's
you
not,
at the end,
I'll
just
tip
$5.
you, but
yeah.
it's not like I'm not thinking about it as much because it's not fun, right? I don't know.
Yep. I completely agree with you, Michelle. Yeah.
All right, Danny, here's the next question.
What?
I know, eh? Just put you on the spot because you're there. You're first. Dice Grinders asks, when you guys go on breaks, do you talk about the players?
It's been 16 years and I'm still talking about the players.
We've had a really long break, and we still talk about. Yeah, it's been a long.
Yes. Not always like sometimes it's good things too though, you know, like but yes, everyone does.
I mean, it's not like every break you're like going back there to talk about the players, but
Yeah,
certain
no.
comes up.
Yeah.
No.
But I think as well, like a lot of the times, like one of the greatest things about playing craps with dealers who are very good is it becomes very interactive, right? Like
Yeah.
you're all playing like, and the boxman, and you're all having fun, and then something happens, you're like, oh my god, that was funny, and then you come back from the break and you be like, oh my god, and you tell
This
Jay because he
happened,
missed you,
yeah.
oh my god, can you believe that this
Yeah.
happened to John?
Yeah.
He's such an idiot, and I'd be laughing, he'd be like, yeah, I'm an idiot. So I mean,
Yeah.
certain things, I think that's a lot of the reason why people want to play it, right? Because it is
little
very
more
interactive.
camaraderie,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
very interactive. I
Yeah.
think that more than some other games.
Yeah.
But to the Dice Grinders point, yeah, there's times where you go on break and like, okay, I'm going to get my coffee, get my cigarettes, and go, can't believe that. Like I mean, you're like, oh, yeah, and you're like, oh, him, oh yeah, and then you tell stories and stuff. But that's on. To be honest, that's not just on craps. That's every game.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's so different now. I mean, like from like 20 years ago. 20 years ago was, it depends on like what kind of dealer you are too. If you're like a new dealer and you don't have that thick skin yet, it's like, oh my god, this guy's a jerk.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
swore. He didn't swear
I
at me.
def-
but, oh,
I used to do that a lot too. Like when I was first starting, like I was extremely hot-headed. So like those 15-minute breaks or 20-minute breaks, if you're on craps, like you just go upstairs, you just rant for like the whole 20 minutes. That way you can come back down and be on your game again for the next hour.
I mean,
Mm.
think about golfers, poker players, and like the storytelling, right? Like, you ever like, if I have to hear one more bad beat story,
yeah, I'm
Poker
sorry.
player.
There's such a difference between like a poker dealer on break than
Yeah.
like a blackjack dealer.
but I'm just saying, like, it's like you're just constantly getting this storytelling ammunition, right? Like things happen in a casino that are not normal, like outside of the casino, right? So there's just like, I still tell stories now from way back.
I remember one time there was this older guy used to come in and in the palace, and he was a super nice guy, and he'd always give those candies, they were like toffees.
Marshall.
And he'd give these
Like
toffees,
annoying.
and he'd go around and give all these toffees, and then be like, oh, and he was super nice, and then he'd lose and he'd get angry and he'd swear. And I remember I was a greedy pig, and I came up to craps when I used to eat them, and I'd be like, why are they warm? I'm like, why are they warm? And I was like, for a while, I was like, why do they get warm? And then I was like, oh my god, where's he keeping the candies? And I was like, oh, you put them in the front pocket. And they're like loose candies. I was like, and then on break, I was like, did you have Marshall? Then I'd ask people, did you have his candies? And they're like, oh yeah, they were great. Like, were they warm? I'm like, yeah, they're always warm. I was like, yeah. And then I told them my theory about, it's just, so it's not always bad things, I think.
No, it's not.
Funny, bad, good. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of different categories.
anything they can be like, oh my
Yeah.
god, that was funny. I mean, I never
Bizarre.
turned around to them and said, yeah. After a while, people were like, I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about
Yeah.
other dealers
Yeah.
too, not
Yeah.
like in the gossip way, but like stories about like I tell some of Lars's stories. Ian has some classics
Yeah.
stories that he did. There's always like those stories that just stick with you, whether they're yours or not. So
Mhm.
a lot of storytelling ammunition in the gaming
Well, I think,
industry.
yeah, and I think as well. I mean, a lot of times when we're talking about players, you like, especially I remember, like, if you're on a really kind of cool roulette game where it's busy, and you're like, oh my god, and it went this and this. How many times we talk about you hit the wrong number? You know what I mean, like you hit the wrong number, you put it like a poof, and you're like, that's not 17.
Sure, let's recreate that. That
Yeah.
sounds like fun.
Yeah, I just marked a split. I'm pretty sure that didn't win. Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't believe you brought that Marshall story.
Remember it? It's
Oh
just,
my
but you did.
God.
I remember it was going like, oh, and he was.
This is the whole thing. When you guys go on breaks, you talk about players. It's like, yeah, that was from like 20 years ago.
And right now you're like, I still remember eating those
I
candies.
remember. No, because the floor supervisor. I'm gonna say who it is. I'll say it after. But it's like nothing better than receiving candy that was warmed by another man's genitalia. And it's like, awesome.
And you all of a sudden like, oh, I just don't want this one anymore.
I can tell you he bet 10 streets on roulette. See? And he'd sit like this and he'd be waiting and he bet 10 streets on roulette.
That's impressive. I don't know if I
Yeah.
remember his. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Oh my God. How do I know his system? Yeah, it's just stuff that you just don't forget, right? So yeah,
my goodness.
Mr. Dice Grinders,
Yeah.
when guys go on breaks, honestly nowadays though, it's like, no, I got 15 minutes. I need to either eat or I gotta be on my phone because my wife will get pissed off at me if I don't talk to her. So a lot of the time I'm on my phone or I'm like watching like something and it's so indifferent now. Like, you just don't
Yeah.
really care, right?
Yeah.
But maybe it's because I'm an experienced dealer because it's like, oh my God, that guy fell off his chair. It's like, I've
Yeah, I've seen that a
already.
million times, yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like nothing new here,
Yeah.
right? So anyways, sorry. Let's come back. Adrian. Hi, Adrian. Do you know Adrian?
Adrian. Oh, I think I know Adrian. I went to junior high with Adrian, for anyone who doesn't know that.
I would love to have Adrian on an episode.
Yeah, we could probably get her on.
So she's been on, but I wasn't on that one.
Yeah, we did one with her.
Poker. I'm sorry. For comment. No gavel.
We should have Adrian. No,
I love
but we
Adrian.
won't.
She's
Excited
so
to
good.
see her
We're so
name.
excited to see your name. We won't even read a comment.
She says no gavel.
No,
no.
we should- that should be on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
very good.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, everything's on a t-shirt these days.
There's this poker player who wears a hat that I really like, and it says "What a life," and I really love that because that's like something that all the pokers say to each other. At least in Calgary, like something good happens, and it's always just "Oh, what a life, buddy." And now I find myself saying it. Like that's one of the things that like I think I've picked up from a lot of the players. I really like that. What a life.
That's a nice shirt. I can't remember any other ones with like. Well, my other ride is your girlfriend. That was the one at the mall. That's the only other one I remember. They have that at the mall. And I was like, what?
That's a little more in your face.
Yeah, yeah. That's a really cool poker shirt. Has nothing to do with poker, but anyways,
Well,
I guess.
poker.
Yeah, let it ride.
Clutching his straws now.
Adrian, our comments about the dealer betting alongside
Yeah.
players. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, cool. She says, I've definitely degened alongside dealers with me many times.
And we appreciate that. Thank you,
This is
Adrian.
coming from like a pro poker player. When I dealt to Adrian, like when I was dealing, she's playing like 3-6 before, but there was like she had like some friends there as well. That whole unit of like 3 or 4 players,
Mhm.
they would like dominate the table and they would just, they wouldn't cannibalize each other, but they'd take everybody else's money and like basically split it.
It's like basically the scene from Rounders. Where
Yeah.
they're all at the casino and then the fish sit down and they just keep taking the fish's
Yeah.
money and then they leave.
This was crazy. Just to watch it, it's like, that's hilarious. Because you're dealing it out and it's just like, this pot's going that way for sure. And it's just like seeing these people get reeled in. It's like, well, this is before like, poker was such a big thing. And then you
Sure.
watch it in the movies and it's like, oh yeah, I guess that did happen before.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Danny, here, one more. Dice Grinders asks, are you guys surprised if you go on break and come back and the player is still shooting or rolling?
I mean, you go.
It rarely happens. Or if
Yeah.
it does happen, you're like, how slow are these
I was
dealers?
gonna say, it's either the
You're
slowest
like,
game.
Oh my God. Like what like why is this game going so slow? You know what I mean?
Because it's never because they're just winning.
Yeah, it's rarely because you're like, oh my God, this
It's the
rolls.
hottest
I
roll
mean,
ever, yeah.
I remember one time like where we had to stop a roll because it was right at the end of the night and it was like a monster roll. But you don't often see like 20-minute rolls, right? Or 50,
Yeah, yeah.
rolls that last long. Usually if it comes back and the game's like you still got the dice, either the game's going really slow or there's a massive argument and we're just trying to sort it out.
Or there
and
was a medical emergency of some kind.
Some guys down on the floor. You're like, oh
Yeah. So the answer to the question is yes.
Yeah.
Are you surprised? Yes. It would
Yeah.
be surprising.
And if it does come, because like I said, one time where it was like a 25-30-minute roll and they came back and literally there was like almost no chips on the table.
Yeah.
We were bringing floats in. It was just like, just bring we don't need anything small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No paperwork. Just bring the
Yeah,
chips.
look, they've got all the chips anyway. They that was mental.
How many times that happened to you, Danny, on Krebs? You go on break off of base and you come back and you'd be on like a busy center action.
Actually, quite often, especially when I was working at Stampede or when it was during Stampede at Cowboys. Like, it's just like after like one of like the concerts or something went out, and then you'd come back from break, and all of a sudden everybody's around the table, and you're just, okay, I wasn't mentally prepared yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think like I was on first base, and then like one shooter like started, and then like no, maybe I was on second, and then I had went on break, came back, and then I did my whole rotation, went on break again, and the guy was still shooting, and I was like, this is insanity. Like, are we done yet?
Bedtime reminder just came on my watch.
Nice.
Time to get ready to
Yeah.
think about going to bed.
But yeah, not very often.
No. Yeah, I hate coming back and players still shooting, and it's just like the center action is heavy.
Yeah, the
And
center
your,
action
and your
is
stick,
always-
you know,
Walking into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
who you're relieving doesn't have the person in the right spot.
Oh.
Oh
Or-
my
Well,
gosh.
I used to hate any position when you're coming in, and like I remember, like the place I used to train at, right? We used to walk up these stairs, and then we turn right, and then because we had a cage around the dealer, right, like stickman, because it gets so busy, and you see this wall of people, and you're like, oh man, I used to jump in this line, and you go and you take them on the stick, and you're like, I don't know any of this stuff. Who's these bats? And you look over there, and everyone like, you take off the, on base, you're like, is this the right? I don't know, like, and all you're thinking then in your head is like, I just need a seven right now.
Seven.
Yeah.
I just want all these guys to go because I'm
Seven.
like, especially if you have like, don't bet, don't come bet. You're like, who's this? Like, even like, oh man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the worst when you're following someone like that. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Agree.
Good times.
Yes.
Good questions though.
Mm.
Dice grinders. Yeah.
It makes me want to roll some dice. Fortunately, I can't roll dice here, but it would be really nice to, I don't know, maybe one day. we
Is
can
there
go to-
craps tables just outside the poker room still, or is it somewhere else?
No. Well, I don't know. I mean,
Oh,
they just brought it back, so, and they have some, I think they have some good dice dealers here that came from another casino. So
okay.
it's going to be really good like next week.
Yep.
So you guys
Where
can
you
go.
were?
I'm going to be here.
Hey, are you gonna play poker with me?
Who?
You, Jay.
Me?
Yeah, because
Oh.
we can play poker, I think, right?
I can't. No.
Oh, dang. I can, though, right?
You can. I can't.
Okay, well, if anyone wants to take some money off me, I'll be
Is
fine.
you're employed here specifically?
Because I have this position. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
spoiler alert. You guys can't see.
Yeah.
But I have this
Got it.
position here.
Undercover agent. What's that mean?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I
Got
shouldn't
it.
be able
Different
to.
rules. Yeah, that makes sense.
But we can go to like, I don't
A
know,
different one.
maybe we can go to like Old Palace and show Danny our old stomping grounds.
I
And
haven't seen it since it's
Yeah.
no longer the palace.
downtown is open, so
Is it?
Danny loves the Oilers so much that we
Yeah.
can go see where
Take
they
her to
are.
Rogers Place
Yeah,
Casino.
the Hall of Fame.
I have a
there.
picture next to Gretzky.
Yeah. Oh my God, Danny's life would be.
Made. It would be
Would you
made.
like
All my
us to be
dreams
my
would have come
profile?
true. My bucket list is empty.
Exactly. That's funny. We'll come visit you one time in Calgary, and then you can try to like make us wear stuff that we want.
Like the Peaky Blinders guy role. I think that's me. By the way, I love that show. It was so cool.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
You've never watched it?
I've heard of
It's
it.
good.
but
It's on Netflix.
It's
It's
really
very
good.
good.
But it's
Okay.
weird. My friend from Birmingham, where this place is supposedly set, right? And I worked with casinos in him a long time, and me and him got fired quite a few times. I'm from different places for whatever, and he was a big goon, and he's from Birmingham, and he goes, "I hate that show." But I mean, I guess maybe because he's from there,
Too close.
and he's like, "Yeah, it's not like that." I'm like, but
Yeah.
That show was from like based like a long time ago. So yeah, obviously it's not like that now.
Interesting. Well, you know what? Maybe I should have that question. What's show to watch.
What are you binging right now?
What are you binging now? Because I've been watching House of the Dragon. Oh my God, House of the Dragon. I'll be right back. I need to hug somebody. Somebody gender neutral wife.
What's a good show to watch now?
What are you watching now?
I've just watched, like you said, House of Dragons.
Oh yeah.
I started watching that. What was the other one? Lord of the Rings one. It's not Lord of the Rings, but it's the kind of like the Prime Amazon Prime one.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking
I
about.
watched like 2 episodes of that.
Yeah,
and I was like,
no.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've been rewatching stuff lately, like stuff I watched like 10 years ago, like, and don't remember much of it. Like, we used to watch a show called The Mentalist. I don't know if you've
oh
seen
yeah, I
that.
watched that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love like brain type shows like that. There was a show called Lie to Me, which was like he used to read facial expressions or whatever. So I've like rewatched. They're all like you have all the seasons streaming. I've talked to my brother because I was like, I like watching when I know how many seasons there's going to be.
Yeah,
Because you watch a new show and they do one season, they don't keep going, and you're like, oh.
It drives me crazy. So like, you wait for it to go on Netflix, and you're like, oh, there's at least 2 seasons.
Yeah, but then my brother explained to me, and because he's very smart, if you don't watch the new shows, they don't keep making them.
That's very
right?
true.
So if you like a show, then you should keep watching it. Like Ted Lasso, he got me on Ted Lasso.
Oh, I
You
love
see
that show.
Oh
yeah.
my God, that's so good. I love that show.
Oh, tell you what I watched that was really good because Ted Lasso. Welcome to Wrexham. Has anybody seen that?
Oh, that's with Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
I have
Reynolds,
not watched it yet.
When
I've
he
seen
buys
the
a
trailers.
soccer team up in North Wales. I'm from Wales, so he
Yeah.
buys this team, and I think there was only 2 episodes that I saw, and it's so cool. You see people like me talking
Yeah.
because they kind of sound like me in Wrexham, and they have subtitles.
They have what?
Subtitles.
Oh, subtitles.
And she's like, "Oh, what?" I guess I need subtitles.
Could not have planned that better.
Yeah, what? I really hope you just
I
did it on
should
purpose
watch
because that was funny.
everything subtitles.
I did not. I wish I could say I did. That's so funny. I mean, I've known you for a long time. 97% of the time I know what you're saying, but every once in a while I'm like, I think that word was this based on the rest of the words.
My daughter, when she was in elementary school, her friend used to come over, and she told me one time, she goes, "Oh, Dad, when blah 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 comes over, she doesn't know what you're saying. She doesn't understand." I was like, "Okay, that's cool," and I'm like, "Uh-huh." And I would just throw up made up words. It's like sounds. Like, but I talk and then go, and you can see this poor girl was so confused. It's like,
Oh,
and my daughter would
man.
know because it was weird. They never had a problem ever understanding me.
Yeah,
And then she'd be like,
yeah. Stop it, Dad.
exactly, yeah, don't, yeah. So
That's so funny.
I've also been rewatching a lot of shows. There's this show called Skins UK.
Mhm.
And I've been watching a lot of that, but they had it on Netflix, and then I guess they took it off, and so I was trying to find it. I was even gonna like order it off of Amazon, just like the DVD set, but then I found out that like they have it can't be played in our DVD players or anything like that. Like it's specific.
Oh, region.
yeah.
Yeah, region.
My region.
Yeah, so then I found out that they have it on Tubi, which is really awesome, but there's tons of ads. So,
Hmm.
but other than that, I've been binging that, and I also started Game of Thrones, which I've never seen.
I can't remember the last time I actually watched a DVD. When we moved, we had all these DVDs. We got rid of all of them, like sold them, except for like one little shelf like this. So maybe we have 15 discs. And then I was like, it's been about a year since we sold our house. And I was looking at them the other day and I'm like, I don't know why we kept those. We don't have anything that we can play them on.
Yeah, I have tons of DVDs, like Disney ones. We have no DVD
Like my
players.
son used to have a PS, but he's with his dad. Like he's staying at his dad's place, or not at our place most of the time. So I'm like, we don't even have something that plays DVDs. Why do we have these?
That is so funny.
Yeah, that's why I like having the Xbox, is that you can just play movies on it, which is really nice.
Yeah, we gamed when we were younger, but we just haven't in a long time.
Okay. Adrian, did you guys?
Some show? No, do we have show recommendations?
Sandman was really good.
I don't know if I know that
That's
one.
so
Netflix.
weird. I couldn't even get it. Like, I love weird shows, but like I started it and I only got in like 10 minutes, and then I was like, "Okay, I'm bored. Let's put on something I've already seen 15 times instead."
I have a thing that for Netflix, I have to have certain shows that I nap to.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a nap, but I need something on. So I just like, I'll put that on.
That's me.
And then
Office for
remember,
me.
and then I'd have shows I want to watch. But then Netflix would recommend weird shit. Like I had like Paw Patrols come up one time. It's like, this, you think you should watch? You watch this? You should watch Paw Patrols. I was like, really? Okay, I'll try it. You seem to know me better than I do, but okay.
Once in a while, I'll go into my profile. I'm like, who's been in my profile?
Yeah, right.
Oh my
Using my
god!
profile.
Talking about that, we like last year we went to Kelowna, right? And we rented this apartment, and there was Netflix there, and it looked like somebody had logged in on their own account and forgot to log
Left
out.
it, yeah.
So there was all these things, you know, the profiles on it, and one was obviously a very small child, and my kids were like, "Let's watch horror movies." So they just kept watching horror movies on this kids' channel, and then but not all the way. They'd stop it,
Yeah.
and they were like,
Continue watching.
so they were like, it was like I was like this. By the other shows he was watching was probably very small,
Oh
and then
my
probably the parents are like, "When did you get so satanic?
Yeah.
What changed you, son?"
Creating lots of problems.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Okay, let's finish off. Oh, we're over an hour. Look at that. Just like that. Adrian
Money
says
Heist.
Money Heist. Okay. She loved Lie to Me. Is it Lie to Me?
It did, yeah. It did. It was a show I said I rewatched.
Okay.
It did get a bit repetitive. I just love the characters in that show, though.
Ooh, Dr. House. Did you see House?
Oh yeah, House was a good one.
House.
I could
Okay.
rewatch that. That was a good
Yeah,
one.
you should. It's so good.
The Boys. Have you watched The Boys?
No.
Yeah, what's that?
Crazy.
That's good.
So crazy.
Is that a new one?
It's been up for a couple
no,
of years.
It's like it's like 4 seasons
Yeah.
now. It's crazy. Like, and you don't think it's just gonna get crazier, and it does, and it's like, holy cow. So yeah, that's something that I liked. And someone told me I work like the hospital Animal Kingdom, so I started watching that.
That's good too. I really liked that one actually,
It's so great.
but I don't think I ever finished it. See,
But
that's
you're-
the issue is that when they keep making seasons, like I binge watch it and then I forget about it, and then I have to rewatch it again from the beginning because
To remember where you are.
it's-
I've done that. I won't watch it from the beginning, but I'll watch like half a season or something to catch
Yeah.
back up.
You guys were talking Game of Thrones.
Yep.
I was working here, so it wasn't even that long ago. Because when I was dealing, I didn't watch Game of Thrones either, and they were just talking about it on the dice table so much. And it's like, man, we're on like season 7 is so good, and it's just like, oh crap, I need to watch this. And I think in the span of a week, I watched
The whole thing.
the whole thing, and I went ahead of Ryan, who was he was like so hardcore at it, and I went ahead of him, but like I'm ahead of you now. So it was crazy. I watched it so fast, and like seriously, and to catch up, I actually watched it in like 2 times speed too, because sometimes it stretches out. So I watched it so fast. I loved it. It was amazing.
Can I tell you something? It's like, I do something. My kids are like, "You're weird." So have you seen the show BattleBots? It's like the people who
Yes.
build robots and they fight against each other.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-hour show or whatever it is. But I watch it in fast forwards until they get to the fights because I just want to see someone to get really disappointed.
Yeah.
When they're like, because some of them get really mad, like, "Leave them alone, leave them alone." You know, and I'm like, my kids are like, "You're weird." I'm like, "You need to watch it." And I was like, "But you need to watch it in fast forward." So now they're like, "Okay, let's watch it." So they'll watch it with me, like in fast forward, and just do these things. Yeah, just to see these guys get like super upset. It was
That's
mad.
hilarious. Game of Thrones, I never watched. I mean, I watched 3 episodes, or I don't know, between 2 and 4 episodes, and I was like, eh. And it's not bad. I just never got hooked on it. Never watched
I think I'm on episode 7, so clearly I haven't been watching that much.
it.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's 8 minutes. I'm still gonna keep going here. How about a confession of like a show that like everyone's watched but you haven't?
Game of Thrones.
Mine is Breaking Bad.
I haven't seen that one either.
I have not been able to get through it.
I
I
watched
might be like
2
2
episodes of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a couple. Like, my son, weirdly enough, like I watched it and kind of going like, eh. But my son literally binged because now it's on Netflix, right? So he found he's like, "Oh, let's watch this one," and he just went, "Boof," and he blew through all of it, like, you know. And I was like, "You
It
went."
was okay. Like I could have kept. What I wasn't like hooked, right? Like in both those shows, I didn't really get hooked on them.
I feel like a lot of people have watched This Is Us, and I haven't ever watched
Yeah.
it.
I watched a
that's-
few of those and didn't keep watching.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
Oh, Grey's Anatomy.
I watched 3 seasons of that.
Yeah.
She's never
I watched
watched
those.
that.
I watched.
Adrian, are you're not saying you've never watched Star Wars? Are you saying watch Star Wars or that you never watched Star Wars?
I've never watched Star Wars ever.
What?
Her family's obsessed with Star Wars. I know her kids haven't watched Star Wars, but they know a lot about Star Wars.
Never.
They're younger, like
Yeah.
they're just younger. So, but I don't know. I need to know the answer to that question.
Yeah. I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show either. But that was an old one. But I mean,
I
like
have,
when I
long
grew up, it
time
was like,
ago.
oh, everybody saw it. And my
Yeah.
wife used to go away because it was kind of interactive when you go to like when he used to show
Yeah,
it
in the
kids, right?
theater. Yeah,
And she said, oh, it was so much fun. I was like, didn't want to see it, and I
yeah.
never did.
The reason why I know even about that show is because a character did it on Drag Race. So that's the only reason. Like I feel
Oh,
like I
right.
learned a lot about certain things just from watching Drag Race every day of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So like all these references, I'm like, oh, I remember that from a Snatch Game episode. Like,
Mike went Lord of the Rings. When those movies came out, my wife went like on the radio. It was a sneak peek of a movie for an entire year. And one of the movies was Lord of the Rings, right? So I read the books when I was a kid and I really liked it. So I took my son. One of the things, it was like one of the radio stations, they like had this promotion. They were like, oh, if you're going to go to this, it's like a sneak peek. And if you dress up as your favorite character, you're going to win a prize. And my son's like, we should do it. And it was in West Edmonton Mall. I'm like, you kidding me? You want me to walk around West Edmonton Mall dressed as a hobbit? I'm like, no, not doing it. Or the wizard. I'm like, no. I said, you can, I'm not. And he's like, come on. I was like, not a chance. Not going to do it. So anyway, so we went there, we lined up. There wasn't a single, like, we were looking on, like, nobody's dressed. So I'm like, see, nobody's dressed up. So we go in there and like, okay, everybody comes down who's dressed up. They're going to be in the ward. And we looked and it was just one kid dressed up as like Frodo with the ears and all of this, and it came down, and I was like, "Oh, I know that kid." Then in my daughter's like dance class, I was like, "Oh my god!" And it was really kind of awkward because they were like literally the only one.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it's funny.
Well, Mike's never watched Lord of the Rings. Well, that's a good year of your life that you can catch up watching that because there's so many movies now. Adrian says they read it.
Yeah, they have lots of Star Wars books and
That's
stuff.
sweet.
They have a book that's like, I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but it's like all the components of like ships. So like it walks you through like it's like a schematic of like
Okay.
ships and stuff. Anyway, they're very into it. It's pretty cool.
That's crazy. I've seen some
Never
of the new
really
ones.
the originals. That's interesting. Your family is so hardcore Star Wars.
The Star Wars I know is from Disney, and what kids tell me, I torture them by calling Yoda Chewbacca. Dang.
That's amazing.
it's funny.
Um,
Everybody knows how obsessed I am with Harry Potter, and then they'll always be like, "Oh, is that Gandalf?" Or they like.
That's another one Adrian has not watched, Harry Potter's. We play a game with my family, and if you've ever played Code Names, you have to do a clue to connect words anyway. And it helps if you know someone, like, because it kind of helps the clue work better. So my brother and I are big Harry Potter fans. And so it's not uncommon for us to use something Harry Potter related to connect. And when Adrian plays with us, she's like, I can't help. I can't help you on this round.
So there's a comment by Jason. We'll end with that one. But hey, Chris says, I just finished Ozark. I can't wait for more.
Yeah, that's one I've been meaning to
It-
try, but I haven't.
It was
I
just,
never finished it.
Me
Yeah.
neither, Danny.
I watched a
watched
few
some of it?
episodes and I was kind of like,
I got two
I
full
actually didn't mind it. Like I really liked that that one blonde girl. And I also really like Jason Bateman. I just
That's why I love Jason Bateman.
me too. Yeah, I just never finished it. I get bored
Yeah.
really easily, especially with things. This is why I love mini series. I love short little things that are just. I love miniseries, but when it gets really long, I'm like, is it over yet? Like,
Yeah.
I tried to watch Naruto, and I was like, there's how many episodes? Like, no.
I blew through, what's this called? Young Sheldon.
Oh yeah.
I blew through that only because the episodes are like 18 to 20
They're
minutes
like
long.
22 minutes. They're like sitcom.
Yeah. So literally, I'll be working from home. I'm like, I'll just pop it on. I'm not even watching the screen because my desk is over here and the TV's over there, and it's just on. I'm like,
Yeah.
So it's like, and he'll just play, and every time and again it'll stop. I'm like, he'll turn around and be like, "Do you still want to watch this?" I'm like, "Oh, ask me later."
That's why, like, I've watched. I don't know if you've ever watched The Office at all, but like
Yeah.
it's similar. And I've watched The Office through like 5 times. But often, like you said, something you put on when you want to nap or you're not going to pay attention or whatever. That I use The Office a lot. For that. So I've been through 5 times, but I haven't actually watched it 5 times.
Last week I tried to put on. I was like, "Oh, U.S. Open's on the tennis. I'll put that on while I'm working." Again, I look this way. My TV's over there, and it's like the worst thing. All you hear is,
Yeah.
"Oh," and I'm like, "This is just annoying." It's
It's
more like it's
distracting,
irritating noise in the
yeah.
background. It's like that. Remember that game? Was it frustration with that thing? It was just like that all the time. I'm like, this is the dumbest idea I've ever had.
That's your
I'll
sound
post it.
effect. That's your sound effect for everything. Even like the puppet in Sorry. It's
Yeah, that's it.
everything is that
Yeah,
sound.
that's
for
I
you.
only know one. Squid Games. Oh, that's
Did you watch that one?
I did. Yeah,
I like that one.
but my son
Yeah,
spoiled
me
it
too.
literally before I started watching.
Oh no.
Like he spoiled the ending for me. And
Oh.
he's like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah. Did you see this?" And I was like, "Dude, man, I just started it like halfway through an episode." And
Was
they've
it
already
like a 1 season? That's it, kind of.
There's a second one.
I think
Oh,
they're bringing on a
there's a
second
second
one. Yeah.
Cliffhanger. They left it on a cliffhanger. There has to be a second season.
Yeah.
Yeah. You watched it?
Yeah. Okay. Here another confession because I was sitting on my couch and then, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't watched it. There's a part where they're like doing the tug of war. When they were doing the tug of war and it's like, it looked like they were like gonna lose or whatever. My leg was like pushing against. I was pushing against the couch. I'm like, come on, do it.
It's like kids playing video games. Like,
Yeah, I was so into. I don't know why. It was like I was into it. I'm like, I'm part of this movie,
Yeah,
of the show.
that's
And I was
intense.
it was crazy. But that was so funny. And then I was like, what the hell am I doing?
I saw like a
I hope
million
nobody
short.
watched me.
I saw like a million short clips of it just because you could not see it.
Yeah,
But I never watched the episode.
it's a good premise. I just don't. It doesn't need a sequel. I mean, sequel. I don't know how you can make it better than what it was. It was amazing.
But there definitely is going to be a second one.
Yeah.
I mean, like the first one got so popular, so famous, and like Michelle said, like if tons of people watch it, they're gonna try to keep it going.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
So-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thanks. That was fun. Really good non-casino topic to talk about. It made so much moolah. They have to have it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They have to have another season. I agree. All right. Last comment from Jason. Jason is the HR guru here. So he says, enjoy the Pro, guys. Good night. Also, Danny would love the Hall of Fame room. Yes.
At
Danny
the
would
Aaron
love
Rodgers. Yeah.
Yes.
the Oilers Hall of Fame room
Yeah.
for sure. So.
I would know absolutely 0 people in there.
All right, so this has been a really fun live. Just want to go through our roundtable shout outs. So Danny, who do you want to shout out to?
Shout out to everybody who shows up at our event. And I hope we all have a blast. Excited to see you all in person.
Yes. Okay, Michelle.
Shout out to the Yellowhead crew. Like we saw Tony tonight, and the guys helping us put on the event, and we're very fortunate to be able to do something like that here. And yeah, thanks to those guys.
I was going to say the same thing, but
Sorry.
but no, this is really fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody. And this is a quick story. So, for work, I do a lot of most of the people I meet are all over the place. So we're all doing like video calls and some of that. And I told this one girl that I had never met. I'm like, oh, I'm 6'4". So there's one time
He's not.
I
by
was
the way.
I was joking, right? So so we went and we had this in-person meeting. And when she comes to see me, I stood up. I said, "Hey, how's it going?" She looks at me, and goes, "Where's the rest of you?"
That's funny.
Yeah. So no, I'm just hopefully that everybody comes to say they were going to come, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So shout out to all the people that watch and come and see, talk this, because it's kind of been a fun time to do this for the last it seems like 2 years and 2.5 years, whatever it is. So, and obviously to everybody that joins us every week, it's always cool. Thanks.
Yeah, we have we got 1,000 downloads for like a few episodes that we posted. I was really happy about that. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like 1,000 people listen to 1,000 hours of us just talking stuff. Squid
amazing.
Games is so great.
When you
Yeah.
think about it, it's actually pretty amazing.
And I'm very, I'll be honest, I'm very slow because I have a baby now, right? So I don't have time to like edit these as fast as I want to. I wish I had so much time, but just to be able to kind of edit these shows and put them on Spotify and put them on iTunes, it's so much. I get a lot of satisfaction out of it, and then when people are downloading it and listening to it, I mean, it's really cool. I really appreciate all the support for that, and like I'm glad that you guys are here too. And it's so cool to just, I don't know, it's so cool to create this.
Yeah.
Right?
But we sound a lot smarter. I've listened to it a few times. But I'm just like, oh my God, I sound kind of smart. But you realize we talked before, we'd be like 2.5 hours, like you cut out all of like the gibberish, and you're like, oh, this was a 9-minute podcast. Man, you kind of sound smart. But you know what I mean? But
A lot of Yeah. I'm so conscious about that. Whenever we talk, it's like I need to get rid of these ums, and then I just start talking so much slower to prevent it, right? Anyways, that's the other way that we compress it to 9 minutes. So, all right. That's it for this week. Next week we'll have another episode. Maybe we'll go live again.
oh, this is fun. I've always
Well,
loved
actually,
this.
no. You have someone that's next week, right? Oh, we'll have to look at the schedule. I have the schedule here.
We'll let you know.
Could be here, could be at home.
But
Who knows?
regardless, it'll be on your computer.
Danny, thanks for spending the evening with us.
Of course, jealous I can't be there, but I will. Yeah, it's like a week and a half away now.
Week and a half.
Yeah. Dice Grinders is saying, good job for
Oh,
your
thank-
next string of dealing in Calgary.
Yeah.
Probably dealing a lot of poker. So, like, ahead of time, good job, Danny. You're going to survive. I hope tips are really good for you.
Thank you. I hope so.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
See you guys. See you next week.
Bye,
Ladies and
everyone.
gentlemen, take care. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.